The bottle is already tipping before Jay understands what's happening. He sees it in fragments, the amber liquid catching chandelier light, the alpha's wrist rotating with casual cruelty, the way expensive shoes shuffle backward to avoid splash damage. Then cold shock hits his scalp, and the world reduces to sensation. Sugar-sticky rivulets racing down his temples, carbonation fizzing against his eyelids, the weight of soaked fabric collapsing his collar against his throat. Coca-Cola. They chose Coca-Cola, not wine, not champagne, nothing that could be mistaken for accident. Soda. Cheap, deliberate, the kind of thing you dump on someone you don't consider human. Laughter erupts in waves. It bounces off marble floors, multiplies against vaulted ceilings, becomes a living thing that presses against Jay's chest until he can't distinguish his heartbeat from the sound. Phones rise like a forest of glowing eyes. Flashes pop. Someone whistles. The charity gala's golden light, meant to make everyone look elegant, important, untouchable, now makes him a spectacle. The kind of omega others warn their children about becoming. Jay doesn't move. His hands hang at his sides, fingers trembling but not clenching. His borrowed white shirt, 2 sizes too large because the event coordinator didn't have his measurements, clings to his ribs like a second skin, transparent now, revealing the paleness of his stomach, the fragile jut of his collarbones. His black slacks are soaked to the knees. He was supposed to pour drinks tonight, not become one. Relax, the alpha says behind him, voice thick with expensive whiskey and cheaper entitlement. It's just soda, Omega. You people are always so dramatic. More laughter. Someone claps. Jay's scent blocker, a thin adhesive patch pressed to the pulse point at his throat, loosens under the wet onslaught. He feels it peel at the edges, sticky residue giving way to moisture. Panic flares white-hot in his chest. Not here. Not now. He focuses on breathing, on counting the black and white tiles beneath his feet, on remembering why he came here in the first place. Rent money, grocery money, the kind of cash that keeps someone like him invisible in a city that devours the weak. The alpha steps closer. Jay can smell him now. Synthetic cologne trying to mask natural musk, alcohol sweat, the particular sourness of a predator who's never been told no. You're not even going to apologize? The alpha's voice drops, a mockery of intimacy. You got soda on my shoes. Jay's throat works. The word rises automatically, trained into him by years of survival. Something inside him fractures. Not breaks, fractures, like ice under weight, holding for one more second before the inevitable collapse. His fingers move to his throat. Slowly, deliberately, the scent blocker peels free with a soft ripping sound. Honey floods the room first. Wild and warm, the kind that comes from honeycomb still sticky with beeswax. Then comes something deeper. Old wood, the kind that's been polished by generations of careful hands. Beneath it all, barely perceptible, a thread of something clean and cold. Snowmelt over river stones. The laughter dies in sections. Nearest first, then spreading outward like a stain. Heads turn. Alphas stiffen, nostrils flaring. Omegas gasp softly, recognition dawning. Because this isn't the scent of an unmated Omega desperate for protection. This is the scent of an Omega who belongs to someone. Someone who clearly doesn't need to be here. Jay lifts his head. His eyes dark, wet, burning. Find the alpha who poured the drink. I said I'm sorry, Jay whispers. The room leans in to hear. But I won't kneel. The alpha's face twists. He steps forward, hand rising. Every phone in the ballroom vibrates at once. Jay wasn't supposed to be here. The thought loops through his mind as the notification buzz fills the ballroom like a swarm of mechanical insects. Around him, faces illuminate with screen glow, expressions shifting from amusement to confusion to something that looks dangerously like fear. He wasn't supposed to be anywhere near the Regent Hotel tonight. 3 days ago, he'd been in his apartment, the tiny studio with the broken heater and the window that doesn't quite close, trying to make 2-day-old rice stretch into 3 meals. His phone had rung. Unknown number. He'd almost didn't answer. We need extra servers for the Lawrence Foundation Gala, the coordinator had said. Voice clipped with efficiency. Cash payment. Same night. You interested? Jay had looked at his empty refrigerator. Yes. He hadn't asked questions. Hadn't asked why they were calling him specifically when he'd only worked 2 events for their company before. Hadn't asked why the pay was triple the usual rate. He'd been too hungry to ask. Now, standing in a puddle of his own humiliation, he understands. They needed someone disposable. Someone without connections, without protection, without anyone who'd make noise if something went wrong. They needed an Omega who wouldn't matter. The irony tastes worse than the Coca-Cola still coating his tongue. What's happening? Someone whispers near the champagne fountain. Alert! Another voice responds. Citywide. The alpha who poured the drink, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a suit that costs more than Jay's yearly rent, stares at his phone. Color drains from his face like water from a cracked glass. No, the alpha breathes. No, that's not. Jay watches him carefully, studies the way his pupils dilate, the way his fingers spasm around his phone, the way his scent shifts from predatory confidence to something acidic and animal. Fear. Real fear. The kind you can't fake. Who are you? The alpha's voice cracks on the last word. His eyes snap to Jay, and there's something new in them now. Something calculating and desperate. Jay doesn't answer. He's too busy remembering. 6 months ago, a hospital room, white sheets, the smell of antiseptic and Omega heat suppressants. A man sitting beside his bed, silent, patient, waiting for Jay to wake up. You're safe, the man had said. You'll always be safe. Jay hadn't believed him. He'd been bought and sold too many times to believe in safety. But then the man had done something strange. He'd asked, would you like to choose your own name? Not what Jay's name was. Not what Jay's designation was. Not what Jay was worth. What Jay would like. Jay had cried for the first time in 3 years. Now, in this ballroom full of people who see him as entertainment, Jay feels the bond in his chest pull tight. It's a physical thing, invisible to everyone else but visceral to him. A golden thread that stretches across the city, connecting him to the one person who asked instead of taking. His husband, who doesn't know Jay is here, who thinks Jay is home, safe, studying for the equivalency exam that will let him finish the education he never got, who is about to find out someone hurt what belongs to him. I asked you a question. The alpha snarls, stepping closer. Jay's phone, tucked in his pocket, miraculously dry, buzzes. One message. 2 words. I'm coming. Kael Ardent feels it in his chest first. Not pain. Not exactly. It's more like a hook buried beneath his sternum, suddenly yanked by an invisible line. His breath stops. His vision whites out at the edges. Every muscle in his body locks simultaneously, and for one terrible moment, he's convinced he's dying. Then the bond clarifies. Fear, not his, Jay's. The whiskey glass in his hand shatters. Around the table, 4 men freeze. They're his captains. The ones who've seen him break bones without blinking, who've watched him dismantle empires with a signature, who know exactly what kind of monster sits at the head of this organization. They've never seen him bleed before. Boss! Mikhail's voice comes from very far away. Kael doesn't answer. Can't answer. The bond is screaming now, a siren in his blood, and beneath the fear he feels something worse. Shame. Jay is ashamed. Something inside Kael's chest cracks like winter ice. His phone vibrates. He doesn't remember picking it up, doesn't remember unlocking it. But suddenly there's a video playing, and the world reduces to 10 seconds of footage that will replay behind his eyelids for the rest of his life. A ballroom, golden light, his Omega standing in the center, small, soaked, shaking. An alpha behind him, bottle dangling, laughing. The crowd laughing with him. Kael watches it once, twice, 3 times. On the 4th viewing, he notices details. The way Jay's hands tremble but don't rise to defend himself. The transparent shirt clinging to ribs that are too prominent. Evidence of meals skipped. Of Jay's stubborn refusal to ask for anything even when he's starving. The borrowed clothes that don't fit. The crowd of people, wealthy, powerful, safe, treating his husband like a joke, like something disposable, like something that doesn't belong to the most dangerous man in the Southern Territories. Kael, Dimitri's voice is careful. Too careful. What do you need? Kael sets his phone down gently. Glass crunches beneath his palm. He's still bleeding, he realizes distantly. Red pools on the black mahogany table. Spreads toward the city map they'd been discussing. Stains the marked territories like a promise. Lock the city down, Kael says. Silence. Boss? Mikhail tries again. We can't just. Lock. Down. His voice doesn't rise. Doesn't need to. The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. Find out who sent that video. Kael continues, standing slowly. Blood drips from his hand, patters against imported Italian tile. Find out who organized that event. Find out every single person in that ballroom. Names, addresses, families, business holdings, debts, secrets. How deep? Dimitri asks quietly. Bone deep. Someone swallows audibly. Kael moves to the window. 40 stories below. The city glitters like scattered diamonds. His city, built on foundations of fear and respect and the unspoken understanding that some things are sacred. Some things you don't touch. He'd built this empire carefully. Brutally, yes, but carefully. He'd drawn lines, established rules, created a hierarchy that kept chaos at bay. People knew what happened when they crossed him, but they didn't know about Jay. No one knew about Jay, because Kael had wanted to give him something precious. A normal life, a chance to heal. A space where he could be something other than a transaction in the world's cruelest economy. He'd kept Jay separate, protected, hidden, and in doing so, he'd made him vulnerable. The alpha in the video, Kael says softly. What's his name? Dimitri's fingers fly across his tablet. Marcus Hendricks, heir to Hendricks Medical Supply. Net worth approximately 200 million. Engaged to Senator Voss's daughter. No priors, but he pauses. There are rumors, sealed records, allegations that disappeared. Find them, Kael says. Boss, if we move on someone connected to Senator Voss. Kael turns. His captains flinch. They humiliated what belongs to me, Kael says quietly. Do you understand what that means? No one answers. They don't need to. The notifications stop as suddenly as they started. Jay watches the ballroom transform in real time. It's like watching a nature documentary. Predators realizing they've wandered into another predator's territory, recalibrating threat assessments, recalculating survival odds. Marcus Hendricks stands 5 feet away, phone clutched in a white-knuckled grip, face cycling through shades of gray. You're lying, Marcus says, but his voice wavers. You're nobody. You're just what? Jay surprises himself by asking. His voice doesn't shake anymore. The fear that had paralyzed him 3 minutes ago has crystallized into something harder, colder. He can feel his scent still flooding the room. Honey and wood and winter water. And he understands now why everyone's watching him like he's a bomb mid-detonation. They're waiting to see if he's claimed. Or worse, if whoever claimed him knows what happened here tonight. A woman in a red dress whispers urgently into her phone near the exit. 2 alphas in matching ties are already backing toward the doors, abandoning half-full champagne glasses. The event coordinator, the one who called Jay 3 days ago with the too-good-to-be-true offer, has disappeared entirely. This is insane, Marcus says, louder now, addressing the room. He's obviously lying. Probably stole someone's blockers, trying to. I'm not lying. The words come out flat. Factual. Jay reaches up slowly and touches the place where his scent blocker used to be. His fingers come away sticky with adhesive residue and cola syrup. The bond in his chest pulls taut again. And this time it's not fear traveling down the connection. It's awareness. Kael knows. Kael is moving. You should leave, Jay says to Marcus. Excuse me? The city's locked down. Jay doesn't know how he knows this, but he does. Feels it in the same way he feels Kael's approach, inevitable, unstoppable. You probably have 20 minutes. Maybe less. To do what? Run. The word lands like a stone in still water. Marcus lunges forward. His hand closes around Jay's wrist, too tight, bruising, and Jay feels his body react instinctively, going limp, preparing for pain. But Marcus doesn't hit him. Marcus pulls him close, breath hot against Jay's ear. If you're telling the truth, Marcus hisses, then you're about to ruin my entire life for a fucking bottle of soda. Is that fair? Jay thinks about the hospital room, the years before that, the locked doors, the hands that took without asking, the realization that his body wasn't his own, had never been his own. No, Jay whispers back. It's not fair. Marcus's grip loosens slightly. Hope flickers across his face. But it's not about fairness, Jay continues. It's about consequences. Marcus shoves him backward. Jay stumbles but doesn't fall. The crowd gasps. Someone calls for security. And then, the doors open. Not violently, not dramatically. They simply open, smooth and quiet, as if the building itself is exhaling. A man walks in, black suit, no tie, dark hair combed back from a face that belongs on currency, classical, severe, beautiful in the way sharp things are beautiful. Every alpha in the room drops their eyes. Every omega holds their breath. Kael Ardent has arrived. He moves like water. That's Jay's first thought, watching his husband cross the ballroom floor. Not fast, not slow, just inevitable. The way tides move, the way gravity pulls. Each step is precisely placed, weight distributed perfectly. No wasted motion. Predator efficiency. But his eyes are on Jay and only Jay. And there's something in them that makes Jay's knees weak. Not anger. Not the cold fury Jay had expected. Anguish. Kael stops 3 feet away. The space between them hums with tension. Jay can feel the bond singing, pulled so tight it vibrates, and he realizes that what he'd felt earlier, the hook behind his sternum, Kael felt too, is feeling now, that they're both standing here bleeding internally while a room full of strangers watches. Are you hurt? Kael asks. His voice is quiet, controlled, the kind of quiet that precedes hurricanes. Jay opens his mouth, closes it. He wants to say no, wants to be strong, wants to prove he's worth the protection Kael offers. But his hands are shaking again. Kael sees. Something passes across his face. Too quick to name, too devastating to watch, and then he's moving again, shrugging out of his suit jacket with smooth, economical grace. The fabric whispers as it slides free, revealing a white shirt beneath, rolled to his elbows, exposing forearms corded with lean muscle. He steps forward. Jay stands frozen. Kael drapes the jacket over Jay's shoulders. It's warm, heavy, smells like cedar and gunpowder and safety. You did nothing wrong, Kael says softly, adjusting the collar so it sits properly, covering the worst of the wet shirt beneath. Jay's throat closes. I should have, he starts. Nothing wrong, Kael repeats, firmer now. His hands linger on Jay's shoulders, thumbs brushing against soaked fabric. Do you understand me? Jay nods because he can't speak. Kael's jaw tightens. He leans in slowly, giving Jay time to pull away, always giving him time, and presses his forehead to Jay's. The contact is brief, chaste, but it sends electricity down Jay's spine. I'm going to fix this, Kael whispers against his skin. But I need you to be brave for 5 more minutes. I don't feel brave. You removed your blocker. Kael pulls back just enough to meet his eyes. You stood here broadcasting that you belong to someone, in a room full of people who wanted to see you broken. That's the bravest thing I've ever seen. Jay shakes his head. I was stupid. I shouldn't have come here. Shouldn't have. He shouldn't have touched you, Kael corrects, voice hardening. That's the only shouldn't in this room. Then he turns. The transformation is instant. The man who'd touched Jay with heartbreaking gentleness disappears, replaced by something ancient and pitiless. Kael's spine straightens. His shoulders roll back. His scent, which had been carefully muted, floods outward like a dark tide. Gunmetal, smoke, old blood, alpha. Not just any alpha. The alpha. The one whose name makes senators nervous, whose reputation crosses continental borders, whose mercy is a myth propagated by people who've never seen him angry. The crowd parts without being asked. Kael walks toward Marcus Hendricks, who stands near the champagne fountain, face the color of spoiled milk. "Do you know who I am?" Kael asks conversationally. Marcus's mouth works. No sound emerges. "Let me clarify." Kael continues, stopping just outside arm's reach. "I'm the person who controls 70% of medical supply imports on the eastern seaboard. I'm the person whose signature appears on contracts with every major hospital network in 4 states. I'm the person who, with one phone call, could reduce your family's business to rubble." He pauses. "I'm also the husband of the Omega you just humiliated for entertainment." The room is silent enough to hear the chandelier's crystals tick against each other. "So here's what's going to happen," Kael says softly. "You're going to stand here. You're going to wait. And when my people finish pulling every skeleton from your closet, you're going to understand what it feels like to be exposed." Marcus finds his voice. "You can't. I already did." Kael turns back to Jay, expression softening instantly. "Come," he says, extending his hand. "Let's go home." Jay doesn't take Kael's hand. Not yet. He sees the surprise flicker across his husband's face. Brief, quickly masked, but it's there. Kael's fingers remain extended, patient, waiting for Jay to accept the escape route being offered. Instead, Jay turns back to face Marcus. "I need to see," Jay says quietly. Kael goes very still. "Jay, please." Jay looks up at him, and something in his expression makes Kael's protest die unspoken. "I need to see what happens when someone fights back." The silence stretches. Then Kael nods once, sharp and decisive. 5 minutes, Kael says. He moves to stand beside Jay, not in front, not shielding, but beside. Equal. Then we leave. Dimitri appears from somewhere near the entrance, tablet in hand, expression grim. He approaches Kael, leans in, whispers something that makes Kael's jaw tighten. "Out loud," Kael says. "Everyone should hear this." Dimitri's eyebrows rise fractionally. Then he clears his throat, voice carrying across the silent ballroom. Marcus Hendricks, age 32, heir apparent to Hendricks Medical Supply Corporation, engaged to Amanda Voss, daughter of Senator Richard Voss. Dimitri scrolls, clinical and efficient. Current net worth approximately $200 million. Board member of 3 charitable foundations, including the Lawrence Foundation hosting tonight's event. Marcus's breathing is audible now, shallow and rapid. He's also, Dimitri continues, currently under investigation, sealed investigation, for 6 counts of Omega trafficking, 4 counts of blackmail, and 2 counts of sexual assault. The investigations were buried through his father's connections. Witnesses were paid off. Evidence disappeared. The ballroom erupts in whispers. Marcus lunges forward. "That's sealed. You can't." "Those charges were dropped." "Charges were dropped," Kael agrees mildly. "Evidence wasn't." Dimitri taps his tablet. Every phone in the room buzzes simultaneously. People look down, faces pale. Someone gasps. Jay's phone vibrates in his pocket. He pulls it out with shaking hands, opens the notification. Files. Dozens of them. Police reports with entire sections redacted in black ink. Hospital records. Photographs of Omegas, young, bruised, terrified. Bank transfers with consultation fees that match dates of sealed cases. And videos. Jay closes the file before watching. His stomach churns. "This is illegal," Marcus shouts, voice cracking. "You can't distribute sealed records. I'll have you arrested." You'll what?" Kael's voice cuts through the noise like a blade. "Call the police? The same police department whose pension fund I manage? Call your father? The man who's currently being audited by the IRS for financial irregularities my accountants discovered 20 minutes ago." Marcus staggers backward. "You humiliated my husband," Kael says, and now his voice drops to something cold and ancient. Because you thought he was disposable, thought he was alone, thought no one would care if you made him a spectacle for your entertainment. He steps forward. Marcus steps back, hits the champagne fountain, can't retreat further. But he's not disposable, Kael continues. He's not alone, and I care very, very much. It was a joke. Marcus's voice breaks completely now, desperation bleeding through. It was harmless. Just soda. Just soda, Kael repeats softly. He turns to Jay. Does it feel harmless? Jay looks down at himself, at the ruined shirt clinging to his ribs, at the jacket, Kael's jacket, heavy on his shoulders, at his hands, still trembling despite the adrenaline. No, Jay whispers. Kael nods, turns back to Marcus. The files are already uploaded. 7 news organizations, for federal agencies, every hospital board your company contracts with. His smile is terrible. By morning, the only thing left of your empire will be the memory of what happens when someone forgets that every omega belongs to someone. Marcus drops to his knees. Please, he gasps. Please, I'll apologize. I'll pay him, whatever he wants. Please. Kael looks at him for a long moment, then walks past him without another word. Come, Jay, he says quietly. We're done here. This time, Jay takes his hand. Behind them, Marcus Hendricks begins to sob. The car is black, expensive, and smells like leather and Kael's cologne. Jay sits in the back seat, wrapped in his husband's jacket, watching the city blur past tinted windows. Kael sits beside him, close but not touching, giving Jay space to breathe, to process, to exist without demands. The silence isn't uncomfortable, but it is heavy. You didn't have to come, Jay says finally. Kael's head turns. In the dim light, his profile is sharp as cut glass. Yes, I did. I mean, I could have handled it. Could have left. Could have. Jay. Kael's voice is gentle but firm. Stop. Jay's throat tightens. He looks down at his hands, sticky with dried cola, fingernails still outlined in brown residue. I ruined everything, Jay whispers. No, your reputation, your carefully built separation between your life and mine, the safety you worked so hard to give me. Jay's voice cracks. I destroyed it in one night because I was too stupid to ask why they were paying me triple rate to serve drinks. The car glides to a stop at a red light. Kael shifts, angling his body toward Jay. Look at me, he says. Jay shakes his head. Jay, please. The please breaks him. Jay looks up, vision blurred with tears he's been holding back for the last 30 minutes. Kael's expression is unbearably soft. You didn't ruin anything, Kael says. You survived. That's all that matters. But Marcus, the files you released, what if there are innocent people connected to him? His fiancée, his employees, people who didn't know. Stop. Kael reaches out slowly, telegraphing the movement, giving Jay time to pull away. When Jay doesn't, Kael cups his face with one hand, thumb brushing away a tear. The files I released contain evidence of crimes. Real crimes. Crimes with victims who deserve justice and never got it because men like Marcus have money and connections and fathers who make problems disappear. But no innocence will be hurt by this, Kael says firmly. I don't punish people for proximity to monsters. I punish monsters for being monsters. Jay searches his face, looking for lies, for cracks, for any sign that Kael is telling him what he wants to hear rather than the truth. He finds nothing but certainty. What happens now? Jay asks. Now we go home. You take a shower. I make tea. We pretend the world doesn't exist for 12 hours. And after that, Kael's jaw tightens. After that, the city learns a new rule. What rule? That you're mine. Publicly. Completely. No more hiding. No more pretending you're just another Omega who can be dismissed or humiliated or treated as disposable. Fear flutters in Jay's chest. What if I don't want that? What if I want? Then we'll find another way, Kael interrupts. I'm not your owner, Jay. I'm your husband. That means your choices matter more than my reputation. The car starts moving again. Jay leans into Kael's touch, exhausted and overwhelmed and still terrified, but also safe. For the first time since the bottle tipped, he feels safe. Okay, Jay whispers. Okay what? Okay to the new rule. Okay to being yours publicly. Jay closes his eyes. I'm tired of being invisible. Kael's thumb strokes his cheekbone once, gentle as prayer. Then we burn the world down together. Outside, the city glitters, unaware that its foundation just shifted. Morning comes with headlines. Jay wakes in silk sheets that smell like cedar and safety, sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook a city still sleeping. For one disoriented moment, he forgets. Then memory crashes back. Cola, laughter, Kael's terrible calm, and he sits up too fast, head spinning. Kael's side of the bed is empty but still warm. Jay finds him in the kitchen, standing at the marble island, 3 tablets arranged in a neat row, cup of coffee steaming beside him. He's changed. Black shirt, rolled sleeves, hair damp from a recent shower. He looks up when Jay enters. Expression softens immediately. You should be sleeping. Couldn't. Jay moves closer, bare feet silent on cold tile. What's happening? Kael hesitates, then turns one tablet around so Jay can see. The headline reads, Hendrix heir arrested in Omega trafficking scandal. Below it, smaller but no less damning, Senator Voss's daughter breaks engagement, calls for investigation. Jay's breath catches. He reaches out, scrolls. More headlines cascade past. Federal probe reveals decade of cover UPS. Hendrix medical supply stock plummets 47%. 3 board members resign amid growing scandal. And photos. Marcus Hendrix in handcuffs, face buried in his hands, being led from his family's estate by federal agents. His father, ashen and aged 20 years overnight, reading a prepared statement about cooperation and shock and betrayal. The Lawrence Foundation's director issuing tearful apologies, promising full audits, announcing the immediate return of all donations from compromised sources. It's everywhere, Jay whispers. Yes, you did this in 12 hours? I had help. Kael picks up his coffee, takes a slow sip. Turns out, when you give federal prosecutors evidence they've been searching for, they move quickly. Especially when that evidence comes with witnesses who are finally willing to talk because they know someone will protect them. Jay looks up sharply. The Omegas, the ones in the files. I contacted them, all 6, offered protection, legal support, therapy, relocation if they wanted it. Kael's expression hardens. 3 said yes immediately. 2 are still deciding. 1 told me to go to hell. And you accepted that? Of course. It's their choice, their trauma, their timeline. Kael sets his cup down. I just made sure they knew the offer was permanent. No expiration date, no strings. Jay reads more. Each article reveals another layer. Corrupt doctors who falsified medical reports, lawyers who buried evidence, police officers who accepted bribes. The empire Marcus had inherited wasn't just built on medicine. It was built on silence screams. He's not going to prison, is he? Jay says quietly. Men like him never do. You're right, Kael agrees. Men like him usually don't. Usually? Kael's smile is cold. I have it on good authority that the judge assigned to his case has a daughter who was victimized by someone very similar. Someone whose case was also buried. She's very motivated to ensure justice is served properly this time. That's legal, Kael finishes. Barely, but legal. Jay scrolls further, finds a video marked live. Hendrix family press conference. He clicks. Marcus appears on screen, flanked by lawyers, reading from a prepared statement. His voice shakes, his hands tremble. He looks small, diminished, human. I want to apologize, Marcus says. To everyone I've hurt, to the Omegas to the people He breaks, covers his face. Can't continue. The lawyers exchange glances. The press conference ends abruptly. Jay closes the tablet. Does it feel like justice? Kael asks quietly. Jay thinks about it. Really thinks. No, he says finally. But it feels like a start. 3 days later, Jay returns to the Regent Hotel. By choice this time, Kael had offered to come, had offered to send security, had offered 100 different ways to avoid this moment entirely. But Jay had been firm. I need to walk back in, he'd said. Need to see it. Need to prove to myself, not to them, that I can. So now he stands in the same ballroom where everything changed, except it's different now. Empty, quiet, chandeliers dark. The space feels smaller without the crowd, less grand, more like what it actually is, just a room. His footsteps echo as he crosses to the center, to the exact spot where he'd stood, dripping and humiliated, while strangers laughed. He closes his eyes, breathes, opens them. The doors open behind him. Jay turns. Marcus Hendricks stands in the entrance, flanked by 2 federal agents. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit, awaiting trial, bail denied, and his hands are cuffed in front of him. He looks diminished, hollowed out, like someone scraped away everything false and left only the fragile, frightened core. You asked to see him, one agent says to Jay. You have 5 minutes. Jay nods. His throat is dry. The agents move to stand by the doors, present but distant, giving the illusion of privacy while maintaining control. Marcus doesn't move from the entrance. He stares at Jay like he's seeing a ghost. Why? Marcus finally asks. His voice is hoarse, stripped of the arrogant confidence that had characterized it 3 days ago. Why did you want me here? Jay walks toward him slowly, stops 5 feet away. Because you asked if it was fair, Jay says. That your life was ruined over a bottle of soda. Marcus flinches. And I've been thinking about that, Jay continues. About fairness, about proportionality, about whether humiliation deserves destruction. Hope flickers in Marcus's eyes, desperate, pathetic hope. And I realized something, Jay says softly. It was never about the soda. The hope dies. It was about the laughter, Jay continues. About the phone's recording. About the choice you made to see another person suffering and decide that was entertainment. About the casual cruelty of someone who's never been powerless. Marcus's shoulders shake. I'm powerless now. No, you're experiencing consequences. That's different. I could lose everything. You already did, Jay corrects. The moment you decided I was disposable enough to humiliate for fun. Silence stretches between them. The omegas you trafficked, Jay says, and Marcus's head snaps up. The ones you hurt, the ones whose lives you actually destroyed. Not metaphorically, not socially, but fundamentally. Did you ever think about fairness then? Marcus's mouth opens, closes. No words emerge. Did you ever think, Jay presses, that maybe they deserved dignity, safety, the chance to exist without being treated as entertainment or commodities or things? Marcus's voice breaks. I never thought. Exactly, Jay says. You never thought, because you didn't have to, because the world protected you from consequences. Marcus drops to his knees, not gracefully, not theatrically, just collapses like his legs gave out, like the weight of accountability is literally unbearable. I'm sorry, he gasps. I'm so sorry. I can't. Please, I'm sorry. Jay looks down at him, feels nothing, no satisfaction, no anger, no vindication, just exhaustion. I didn't ask you here for an apology, Jay says quietly. I asked you here because I needed to see if I'd feel different. If watching you kneel would heal something inside me. Does it? Marcus whispers. No. Jay crouches down so they're eye level. Because you're not what broke me. The world that taught you I was disposable, that's what broke me. And that world is still out there. He stands, turns away. But at least now, Jay adds over his shoulder. One fewer monster is walking around in it. He walks toward the exit. The agents move to collect Marcus, whose sobs echo against marble floors. Outside, Kael waits beside a black car, expression unreadable. Did it help? Kael asks when Jay emerges. Jay considers. Not the way I expected. How then? I thought I needed to see him broken to feel whole again. Jay looks back at the hotel entrance. But I was already whole. I just needed to remember. Kael's hand finds his, fingers interlacing carefully. Ready to go home? Jay nods. They drive away as the sun sets, painting the city gold. Behind them, Marcus Hendricks kneels in an empty ballroom, finally understanding the price of cruelty. 6 weeks later, Jay stands in front of a different building now. A university, mid-sized, respectable, with ivy crawling up brick walls and students scattered across the quad like colorful confetti. He's holding an acceptance letter. His hands aren't shaking. Kael stands beside him, quiet, patient, wearing sunglasses that do absolutely nothing to disguise who he is. Several students have already recognized him. Phones are discreetly raised. Tomorrow, there will be articles. Mafia king spotted at university with mysterious Omega. Jay doesn't care. You're sure about this? Kael asks for the third time today. Yes. It's not too fast? You don't need more time to. Kael. Jay turns, looks up at him. I'm sure. Kael searches his face, then nods, satisfied. They walk through the entrance together. Jay notices the way people watch. Some fearful, some curious, some calculating the social math of acknowledging them versus pretending not to notice. But no one approaches. No one laughs. No one throws anything. The city learned its lesson. Inside the registrar's office, a beta woman with kind eyes and stressed gray hair looks up from her computer. Kael Ardent? She asks. Jay hesitates. He's still getting used to the name, to sharing Kael's identity openly, to being someone's husband publicly instead of secretly. Yes, he says. Welcome. She smiles genuinely. Your paperwork is all processed. Classes start Monday. Do you need help finding your dorm? Or, she glances at Kael, recognition dawning. Or will you be commuting? Commuting, Jay confirms. They finalize details, collect schedules, discuss textbooks. Normal things, boring things. The most beautiful things Jay has ever experienced. Outside, walking back to the car, Kael takes his hand. Thank you, Jay says quietly. For what? For asking what I wanted. Not assuming. Not deciding for me. Kael's thumb brushes across his knuckles. You're not something I own, Jay. You're someone I love. There's a difference. Jay stops walking, turns, rises on his toes and kisses his husband, brief, chaste, but entirely genuine. When he pulls back, Kael is smiling. Really smiling. Not the dangerous smile he shows enemies or the polite smile he shows business associates. The real one, rare and precious. Come on, Jay says. Let's go home. They drive through the city as afternoon light turns everything golden. The buildings glitter like they did that first night, but they feel different now. Less dangerous, more possible. The car radio plays soft jazz. Kael's hand stays linked with Jay's. And in the back seat, wrapped in safety and certainty and the hard-won piece of survival, Jay finally allows himself to believe it. He's not disposable. He never was. Monday arrives with autumn sunshine and the particular anxiety that comes with new beginnings. Jay stands in front of the bathroom mirror, adjusting his shirt collar for the 5th time. It's a simple button-down, cream-colored, soft cotton. Nothing like the borrowed server's uniform that still haunts his nightmares. His backpack sits by the door, stuffed with fresh notebooks, pens that still write, textbooks with uncracked spines. Normal student things, except nothing about this is normal. You're going to be late if you readjust that collar again, Kael says from the doorway, coffee cup in hand, expression amused. Jay drops his hands. What if someone recognizes me? They will. What if they ask questions? You'll answer or not answer. Your choice. What if, Jay stops, breathes. What if I don't belong there? Kael sets his coffee down and crosses the bathroom in 3 strides. He gently turns Jay to face him, hands steady on his shoulders. You passed the entrance exam. You earned this. Kael's voice is firm. And if anyone suggests otherwise, they'll have me to deal with. That's what I'm afraid of, Jay admits. I don't want to be the Omega who needs his alpha husband to fight his battles. Then don't be. Kael's expression softens. Be the Omega who survived trafficking, poverty, and public humiliation, then decided to get an education anyway. Be the person who took his pain and turned it into purpose. That's who you are, Jay. That's who they'll see. Jay searches his face. You really believe that? I know it. The drive to campus is quiet, comfortable. Kael doesn't offer unsolicited advice or reassurance. He just drives, hand occasionally reaching over to squeeze Jay's knee when the silence gets too heavy. They park 2 blocks away, Kael's idea, giving Jay space to walk in alone if he wants. I can come with you, Kael offers. Walk you to your first class. Jay considers it. The offer is tempting. Safe. No, he says finally. I need to do this part myself. Pride flashes across Kael's face. Text me when you're done. I'll be here. You're going to sit in the car for 4 hours? I have work. Kael gestures to his laptop in the back seat. And I want to be close, just in case. Jay leans over and kisses him. Thank you. For what? For not treating me like I'm fragile. You're not fragile, Kael says simply. You're healing. There's a difference. Jay gets out of the car, shoulders his backpack, and walks toward campus alone. The quad is crowded with students, some rushing to class, some sprawled on grass with books, some clustered in groups laughing about things that seem impossibly trivial. Jay feels ancient walking among them, like he's lived 3 lifetimes in his 23 years. His first class is Introduction to Psychology, room 304, 3rd floor of the Humanities building. He climbs the stairs slowly, counting each step, using the rhythm to calm his racing heart. The classroom is half full when he arrives. Students scattered throughout, some on phones, some reviewing notes, some just staring into space with the glazed expression of people who are physically present but mentally elsewhere. Jay chooses a seat near the window, middle row, not hiding in back, not announcing himself in front, just existing. The professor enters. A woman in her 50s, gray hair tied back, kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. Good morning, she says. Welcome to Psychology 101. I'm Dr. Sarah Chun, and we're going to spend this semester learning how the human mind works, why we do what we do, and how trauma shapes us. Jay opens his notebook, begins to write, and for the first time in 6 weeks, he forgets to be afraid. 3 weeks into the semester, Jay makes his first friend. Her name is Riley Beta, 20 years old, double majoring in psychology and social work, with a laugh that's too loud for libraries and a complete inability to understand personal space. She sits down next to Jay during their 3rd class without asking permission. You're the one married to the Mafia king, right? She says cheerfully, pulling out her laptop. Jay freezes. That's not. Relax. I'm not going to ask for money or protection or whatever. Riley waves dismissively. My roommate is obsessed with true crime podcasts and recognized you from some article. I told her to mind her business, but I figured I'd just acknowledge it directly so it's not weird. Jay stares at her. Is that okay? Riley asks, suddenly uncertain. Was that rude? My therapist says I have boundary issues. Despite everything, Jay laughs. No, that's fine. Thank you for being direct. Cool. Riley beams. Want to study together after class? I make terrible coffee but excellent flashcards. And just like that, Jay has a friend. They study at campus coffee shops, sprawled across tables with too many books and not enough space. Riley talks constantly about her classes, her roommate's questionable dating choices, her cat who only has 3 legs but refuses to acknowledge this as a disability. She doesn't ask about the gala, doesn't ask about Marcus Hendricks, doesn't ask what it's like being married to someone whose name makes politicians nervous. She just treats Jay like a normal student who's also struggling with abnormal psychology terminology and questionable cafeteria food. It's the best gift anyone's given him in years. One afternoon, two betas from their study group corner Jay in the library. Is it true you're only here because your husband made a donation? One asks, arms crossed, expression hostile. Jay's stomach drops. No. But he's rich, right? Probably bought your way in. Riley appears from behind a bookshelf like a very small, very angry, avenging angel. Hey, jackass, she says pleasantly. Jay scored in the 97th percentile on the entrance exam, which is higher than you scored, considering I've seen your transcripts. The beta flushes. You can't just. I can and I did. Now apologize or leave. Preferably both. They leave. Riley turns to Jay, who's standing frozen, hands trembling slightly. You okay? She asks gentler now. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. That's what friends do. Riley starts gathering her books. Also, for the record, even if your husband had made a donation, which he didn't, I checked, you'd still deserve to be here. Money doesn't take exams for you. Money doesn't write essays or show up to class or do the actual work. You do that. Jay's throat tightens. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just ace your midterm so I look good by association. That evening, Jay tells Kael about it over dinner. She defended you? Kael asks, pausing mid-bite. Fiercely. I like her. You haven't met her. I like anyone who treats you like you're worth defending. Kael sets down his fork. How did it feel? Having someone fight for you? Jay considers. Strange. Good. Like maybe I'm not as alone as I thought. You were never alone, Kael says quietly. But I'm glad you're building your own support system. You shouldn't have to rely only on me. I don't rely only on you. Good. Kael smiles. Because tomorrow, Riley is invited for dinner. I want to meet this friend who made you laugh for the first time in weeks. Jay blinks. You're serious? Completely. I'll cook. You can't cook. I'll order takeout and pretend I cooked. Close enough. Jay laughs, real laughter, unforced and genuine, and thinks maybe, just maybe, life is starting to feel normal again. Small victories, but victories nonetheless. The threat comes on a Tuesday. Jay is leaving his afternoon sociology class when his phone buzzes. Unknown number. He almost ignores it, but something makes him check. One message, one photo, him, walking across campus, taken from a distance but clear enough to be unmistakable. Below the photo, tell your husband some debts are inherited. Jay's blood turns to ice. He's in Kael's office 15 minutes later, phone clutched in shaking hands, trying to explain through the panic clawing at his chest. Kael takes one look at the message and his expression goes flat. Empty. The same terrible calm that had preceded Marcus Hendrix's destruction. Dimitri, Kael says into his phone, voice cold as winter. We have a problem. Within an hour, Jay is surrounded by security he didn't know existed. 3 cars follow him everywhere. 2 guards wait outside his classrooms. Kael's office becomes a war room, screens showing traffic cameras, phone records, digital footprints. It's Marcus's cousin, Dimitri reports, tablet glowing in the dimmed room. Victor Hendrix, older, smarter, more dangerous. He's been operating in Europe for the past decade, but he came back when Marcus was arrested. Why now? Kael asks. Because you destroyed his family's legacy. He wants revenge. Jay sits in the corner, watching, feeling like the child during adult conversations, present but powerless. What does he want? Jay asks quietly. Everyone turns. You, Dimitri says bluntly. He thinks if he takes you, Kael will negotiate. Will give back what was taken from the Hendrix family. That's not going to happen, Kael says flatly. I know. He doesn't. Dimitri pulls up more files. Victor isn't like Marcus. He's patient, strategic. He won't move until he's certain he can win. Then we move first, Kael says. Boss, I said we move first. The room goes silent. Kael crosses to Jay, crouches in front of him so they're eye level. "I need you to trust me," Kael says quietly. "Can you do that?" Jay's heart hammers. "What are you planning? Something dangerous. Something that requires you to be bait." "No," Dimitri interrupts. "Absolutely not. It's too risky. It's the only way to draw him out." Kael doesn't look away from Jay. "But I won't do it without your consent. This is your choice." Jay thinks about the past 6 weeks, about finally feeling safe, about classes and friends and the fragile, precious normalcy he's built, about how easily it can all be taken away. "What do you need me to do?" Jay asks. Kael explains the plan. It's simple, elegant, and absolutely terrifying. Jay will continue attending classes as normal, but with modified security, visible enough to seem protective, loose enough to seem exploitable. They'll leak information suggesting Kael is distracted, focused on business overseas, leaving Jay vulnerable. When Victor moves, they'll be ready. "How ready?" Jay asks. Kael's smile is terrible. "Very." 3 days later, Jay walks across campus alone. Except he's not alone. 6 guards he can't see watch from strategic positions. Dimitri monitors from a van 2 blocks away. Kael sits in his office with a headset, listening to every sound through the microphone hidden in Jay's watch. Nothing happens on day 1 or day 2. On day 3, a black van pulls up beside Jay as he crosses the parking lot. The door slides open. A man steps out, tall, scarred, holding a weapon that makes Jay's blood freeze. "Get in," Victor Hendricks says, "or I start shooting students." Jay looks at him, at the gun, at the van's dark interior, makes his choice. "Okay," Jay says quietly, raising his hands. "Don't hurt anyone." He climbs into the van. The door slides shut. And across the city, Kael Ardent begins to hunt. The van drives for 20 minutes before stopping. Jay sits on a cold metal bench, hands zip-tied in front of him, watching Victor Hendricks clean his gun with methodical precision. 2 other men sit in the front, silent, professional, clearly experienced. "You're calmer than I expected," Victor says without looking up. Jay doesn't respond. Most Omegas would be crying by now, begging, offering things. Victor glances up, eyes cold and assessing. "But you just sit there. Why? Would it help?" Jay asks. "No." "Then why waste energy?" Victor laughs, short, sharp, genuinely amused. "I see why he chose you. You're smarter than Marcus's victims." The mention of Marcus makes Jay's jaw tighten. "What do you want?" "Justice. Your cousin trafficked Omegas." "That's not." "My cousin was stupid," Victor interrupts. "Sloppy. He deserved what he got. But your husband didn't just destroy Marcus. He destroyed my family's entire operation. 3 generations of work, gone in 3 days. 3 generations of suffering," Jay corrects quietly. "How many Omegas, Victor? How many lives ruined so your family could get rich?" Victor's expression doesn't change. "You think I care about morality? I care about power, about legacy, about making sure your husband understands what happens when someone threatens mine." The van stops. They're in a warehouse, abandoned, isolated, perfect for what Victor has planned. He drags Jay out, not rough but not gentle, efficient. The other 2 men disappear to secure the perimeter. "Here's what's going to happen," Victor says, forcing Jay to kneel on concrete. "I'm going to call your husband. I'm going to make him listen while I hurt you. And then I'm going to negotiate." "He won't negotiate. He will. For you." Jay looks up at him. "You don't know him at all." Victor backhands him. Pain explodes across Jay's face. He tastes blood, feels his lips split, but doesn't cry out. "Tough?" Victor asks. "Let's see how tough you are in an hour." He pulls out his phone, dials. Kael answers on the first ring. "Victor." Kael's voice is eerily calm through the speaker. "I was wondering when you'd call. I have your Omega." "I know. I've been watching." Victor freezes. "Bullshit. The van has a tracker. Jay's watch has a microphone. I've heard every word you've said for the past 23 minutes. Kael pauses. You're in the old textile warehouse on 5th. East Side. 3 floors. 2 exits. You have 2 men with you, both hired through the Novak network, both with warrants in 3 countries. Victor's hand tightens on the phone. You're in the center of the main floor. Kael continues, voice still impossibly calm, standing approximately 6 feet from Jay, who is kneeling, hands bound, bleeding from his lip. How? Did you think I'd let him walk around unprotected? That I'd actually leave him vulnerable? Kael's voice drops. You played exactly into my trap. And now you're exactly where I want you. The warehouse lights cut out. Darkness slams down like a physical thing. Victor swears, spinning, gun rising. Don't move. Kael's voice comes from everywhere and nowhere. Amplified through speakers Jay didn't know were there. You're surrounded, outgunned, outplanned. The only question now is whether you walk out of this alive. You'll kill your Omega trying to kill me. Jay. Kael's voice softens. Close your eyes. Jay closes them. Gunshots explode through the darkness. Flash suppressors keeping the warehouse black even as bullets fly. Jay curls into himself, makes himself small, trusts that Kael knows where he is. The shooting stops. Lights flare back on. Victor Hendricks lies on the ground, hands zip-tied behind his back, surrounded by 8 armed guards. His 2 men are similarly subdued, pressed face down against concrete. And Kael stands 10 feet away, gun lowered, expression murderous. He crosses to Jay in 3 strides, drops to his knees, gentle hands cupping Jay's face. Are you hurt? Just my lip, Jay manages. Kael's thumb brushes the split carefully. I'm sorry. For what? For using you as bait. I volunteered. I know. I'm still sorry. Behind them, Victor starts laughing, broken, bitter, defeated. You really love him, Victor says. Enough to burn the world. Kael doesn't look away from Jay. Yes. 6 months after Victor Hendricks joins his cousin in federal prison, Jay walks across the stage. Not a ballroom this time, a university auditorium, filled with students in caps and gowns, families clutching cameras, professors reading names with practiced efficiency. Kael Ardent, the dean announces, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, magna cum laude. Applause erupts. Jay takes his diploma with shaking hands, smiles for the photographer, and descends the stage to where his life waits. Kael sits in the 3rd row, black suit, no tie, expression soft with pride. Beside him, Riley cheers loudly enough to embarrass 3 rows of people. Dimitri sits on Kael's other side, actually smiling, which might be a first. After the ceremony, they gather in the parking lot. Riley hugs Jay fiercely. You did it, she says. I knew you would. We did it, Jay corrects. I couldn't have survived without you. Damn right. Riley pulls back, grinning. Now you're going to grad school, right? Maybe. Eventually. Jay glances at Kael. We're taking some time first. Travel. Rest. Normal couple things. Normal, Riley repeats skeptically. Right? Because nothing about you two is normal. Kael extends his hand. Thank you for being his friend. For treating him like he mattered. Riley shakes it. He does matter. To a lot of people. She winks at Jay. Call me when you get back. We'll get coffee and you can tell me about all the exotic places you visited. She leaves, waving over her shoulder. Dimitri approaches next. Good work, kid. Jay blinks. Dimitri has never called him kid before. Thanks. Take care of the boss. He's useless without you. Dimitri nods to Kael. I'll handle the Eastern Territories while you're gone. Try not to start any wars, Kael says dryly. No promises. Then they're alone. Just Jay and Kael in a parking lot full of celebrating families. How does it feel? Kael asks. Jay looks at the diploma in his hands. At the evidence that he survived, learned, grew, became something more than the scared Omega in the ballroom. Like a beginning, Jay says finally. Of what? Everything. They drive home as the sun sets, painting the city gold. The same city where Jay was humiliated, where he learned to fight, where he discovered he was never as disposable as the world wanted him to believe. That night, lying in silk sheets with Kael's arm around him, Jay thinks about the bottle, about cola dripping down his face, about laughter and phones and the terrible moment when he thought he'd break. He didn't break. He bent, learned, adapted, survived. And now he's not just surviving. He's living. "I love you," Jay whispers into the darkness. Kael's arm tightens. "I love you too." Outside, the city sleeps. Inside, two people who found each other in chaos finally rest in peace. The bottle is empty. The story continues. And this time, it's theirs to write. The end. Some stories don't end with grand gestures or dramatic conclusions. Sometimes, the greatest victory is simply choosing to keep living, keep learning, keep loving despite everything the world throws at you. Jay and Kael's story isn't about revenge or power. It's about two broken people who chose to heal together. And that, ultimately, is the happiest ending of all.